Shout out to Phenom Black, Miss Music Lover, Twan Burgundy, Silent Ace Media, man. Mindset of a young nigga with idle time. They say a devil's workshop is an idle mind. This hip-hop infiltrated by a wicked built industry. I'm representing for the underground. Independence, Fifth Amendment, freedom of speech, the revolution is pending. But it's cool cause you see we on a mission. Television off, it's a viral petition. Man, and I hope you pay attention. The WM48, we keep it real.
Yo, what is up, everybody? You're listening to the Wisdom of 40 Acres podcast, and this is Spoiler Caps, Luke Cage, Season 2, Episode 11, The Creator, directed by Steven Surgic. And Anansi was burned alive last night. His remnants are there the next day being served for breakfast to the cops investigating the scene. Luke Cage is there
so
throwing a pity party, talking about, I should have been hanging out with Danny yesterday eating yak. I should have been here saving all these people. Misty Knight is doing that shit where she looks around and sees everything being reenacted through her third person past vision.
I mean, but she sees the shit so accurately. Like, it's amazing.
Yes, it is. And Luke always be interrupting that shit. She's like, damn it, Luke, I was focusing. But she was using her powers for good. But yeah, so this episode, actually, we get the woven in between these scenes of present day Harlem, where they were calling this, what, the Rum Massacre? Oh, Rum Punch Massacre.
The Rum Punch Massacre.
The Rum Punch
Which,
Massacre.
honestly, you don't sell it the name of Rum Punch. That shit is flavorful and delicious.
Mm-hmm. Now it tastes like ashes. But
wow.
What?
That's right. This Rum Punch so good it make it go, oh!
Oh my God.
I'm done for the night.
Shit.
Oh my goodness.
So right now we're getting the actual backstory of John MacGyver, aka Bushmaster, and they take us back to Kingston. And to just cut this down, what we learn is that they ran some type of a hotel, and he worked there as the towel boy. Mama Mabel or whatever, Mabel Stokes came. They
Mama
had
Mabel and Pete.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Pete came too. They show us young Cornell. They show us young Mariah. They show us young John MacGyver. They show us young Anansi and young Ingrid. Mabel and John MacGyver's mother are having a conversation upstairs with lawyers and business people.
Which one was young Cornell? I can't remember.
Young Cornell was in the pool. He splashed.
Yeah. You trying to get her to come? Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So, Mariah treats John MacGyver like shit at some point. So we see how their relationship basically began. She was being evil to him, or being uppity to him, looking at him like a dirty Jamaican. And at the table, the discussion being had basically is between the two women of the families, of the MacGyver and the Stokes family. John's mother is basically like, look, y'all owe us some money because y'all built this, y'all sold the Bushmaster name, y'all got Harlem Paradise, and here was the agreement between Quincy and Buggy.
Yeah,
and
this was John's mom doing this, Gwen.
Yeah, and this will hold up in court. And I love the way they show Mabel in this scene. She's acting like she's not the dirty bastard here, and it's kind of playing it like she's being understanding and calm and collective, while talking shit about them at the same time. I don't like coming down here.
Yeah.
All these mosquitoes. Just talking shit about them.
And at this point, Gwen was just wanting like the proceeds from the thing. Like, you can get my money, we can be out.
Done.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you ain't got to see me no more. Just make sure I get my money. You know what I mean? Like, and then, because Pete was there, and young Ben was there. Because he wasn't that young Ben as a lawyer?
I don't know if that was him or not. It might have been. I didn't even pay attention to that. That might have been him.
So?
Yeah, I think so. Because
that would make sense.
Because Ben is old. Like, he looks old now. And the dude looked like he was probably like fresh out of law school.
Probably
he said
was
he'd
him.
been with the Stokes for a while, like all his life.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds about right. That's
Yeah.
true.
I don't know. Did y'all?
But like Pete and Mabel laughed him out the thing. Like, oh, like you gonna have this contract, and just laughed out. That shit was fucked up.
Well, they all were witnesses to the contract signing too, which Gwen pointed out.
Yeah, there are multiple people witnessing it.
Did y'all notice the book that young Mariah was reading?
I did not.
Oh, The Blue Side by Toni
Mhm.
Morrison.
She's reading The Bluest
That's what
Eyes.
she was-
Yep.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Yep.
That's what she was reading.
That's
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. We cut back to present day, and Mariah is in full queen pin mode. She is now building a plastics layer that is being put together by Atreus Plastics. We'll see how long this holds up. It's got like a hand recognition and everything. She's been thrown into the future of being a badass gangster queen.
Then even Shades was like, "You think some plastic gonna stop you from Bushmaster?"
No, that's what Luke Cage is for. See, she really does think like Luke Cage is in love with her. Like every other dude, she puts the spell on.
And she also do that like in the battle of that, like Luke Cage go do what's right.
That's basically what she's betting on.
And she was like, I count on that shit.
Yep. It's kind of like a Harley Quinn and Batman situation. Yeah, Luke Cage. Well, not Luke Cage. Misty Knight realizes that there's a blood trail leading out of Gwen's, which means somebody's alive, which means they have a witness that's alive and they need to find it. And the only person that's unaccounted for is Ingrid.
Ingrid, yeah.
And because they got cameras all around the city, because this is The Wire, they have a camera on the street sign outside that shows Ingrid running away from Gwen's. Luke Cage is like, I'm going to need to find her. And Misty Knight is like, I got to go back to the station and handle business because I got to do like a press conference or whatever type shit. So that's what she does. He does end up finding Ingrid at a hospital. But before he does that, he decides that he's going to do this the less than hero way. And he goes and starts shaking up different gangster families or mob families around Harlem.
He surely did too.
Yeah. At this time, we also see that Mariah has plans to get into the drug game, which is something that the Stokes never have done. They've stayed out of the drug game. They've been in the rum game and the guns game, but they never dealt with the drugs. And I think that's supposed to be symbolic of them actually caring about Harlem, so they don't want to poison the people. They don't mind putting some bullets in them, but they don't want to poison them. They'll let the other mob families do that.
The irony.
Right.
And it was also an old mob thing too, because like the old way of getting money, that was before drugs came in. So a lot of people saw drugs as dirty.
Right.
And it was like the younger people doing it. They're like, no, we're not gonna do that shit. We'll run numbers. we'll whore out women. We'll do all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Because she definitely was a madam. Let's see. So she gets in bed with the Chinese. It seems. Maybe it was the Koreans. I'm not sure. I couldn't remember because it was two Asian families. So I know they weren't from the same country. They were different. I just couldn't remember exactly what they were. One of them might have been Japanese. I'm not sure. She gets in bed with one of them first, and then they show us kind of like what Shades is going through, and he's still like he's slowly suffering from PTSD at this point. And I think they need to change his name from Shades to Shakes because he's pretty much fucked.
Oh yeah, especially after he got angered, and
the
that's when it really hit. Like you could tell it was the conflict.
Yeah, it was a choke slam. Yeah, he did choke slam the shit out of her on that desk. I thought this was gonna be the scene where they had like that angry sex, that angry we in love sex, but then I was like, oh, he really trying to choke her to death.
I hope. Oh, I didn't think that. Thank God.
I'm like, he really about to choke her to death. Oh, this is how she dies. This is how she dies. But she didn't die. He just left. He stormed out, and that's the end of Shades. He's a broken man now with a conscience. Misty Knight is looking for the gun that matches up to 3 murders that they know about. One of them is Pete Stokes. One of them is Anansi, which is, where they got the ballistics for that. She notices that the bullets the bullets they found in Anansi are different than the ones found in everybody else. So that was more of a personal kill. And a 38 slug, a 38, not slug, but a 38 also killed Candace Miller. So she's assuming that this is the same gun that killed all these people. We talking about murder over the last like 30 years.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mariah gets back. Listen, Mariah been out the drug game so long. She still calls that shit China White. And the Asian dude was like, we don't call it China White anymore. That's how long you've been running guns. You know, we don't call your shit Tommy's. So, you know, things have changed. It's progressive out here. Luke finds Ingrid at a hospital. And I love how the henchmen that he beat up are all like, I'm just doing what I'm told. And it's like, yeah, nigga, but you about to go find somebody to take him back to be killed. Or you was going to kill him yourself. So, what the fuck? He finds Ingrid, but he can't, you know, just like with Piranha Jones, he can't keep nobody in his sight for 5 fucking seconds long.
He really didn't. Like, they literally walked like 5 steps, and then he turned around and she was gone.
I mean, Shades took her all the way up to the 4th floor and shit into a broom closet in 10 seconds, and he's about to shoot her, but he can't do it because his conscience won't allow him to kill nobody else he don't need to kill. And the fact that she's a survivor, which he actually tried to talk Mariah out of even going after her, that if she had seen all of that happened at Gwen's and survived, there was no way she was going to the cops. And he was actually right. Ingrid was not trying to go to the cops at all. Ingrid was like, look, I'm just trying to find my husband's body and get the fuck back to Kingston. I'm done with you niggas.
Yeah, that's all she wanted.
I am done with you Harlem niggas. I am out.
That's all she wanted.
Yeah. But Luke finds her just after Shades lets her live and goes, and that's when Shade goes to the
How? I don't know, but okay.
He just did. Hospitals aren't that big, clearly, in Harlem. He just found her. Let's see. Shades is ready to confess it all, so he's full snitch. Ingrid tells Luke
he really
who?
No, I was gonna say like what happened as far as for the shooting at Gwen's. That was like, I think he was already shaky, you know, with Comanche, but after that and all those innocent people got killed, that was a wrap.
He was fucked. They cut back to the story with Bushmaster as a child, and he and his mother clearly are not living well in Kingston. They living in like a shack with one entrance and no back exit. So somebody throws a Molotov in, sets it on fire. His mother ends up helping him escape through a window because they can't get out the front door. And after he gets out, the roof basically falls in on her and she dies in a fire.
I felt bad.
And then Mabel, literally drunk as fuck.
Dirty ass, yo.
Drunk as fuck. Walks up, probably off Bushmaster, and throws the napkin and the legal papers into the fire and said, I told Gwen I won't settling. I won't trying to do this court shit or settling it over no papers and all this shit.
And then looked over and saw his ass and was like,
She was like, sorry, baby. But I told Gwen I won't doing all of this court shit or some shit like that.
That was disgusting.
Yeah, like at this point, you like, look, Bushmaster ain't a villain no more. This nigga's good.
He's a victim. That nigga's a hero.
That nigga got to kill everybody.
He is a fucking hero. Okay. They cut back to the present day. Ingrid tells Luke at one point, while just chilling with him long enough, she only been with him for like 20 minutes, and she already know that he is dealing with some shit. She tells Luke that he reminds her of Bushmaster, but like they both have this anger, but they deal with it differently. Like Bushmaster is active on it, and he lets his anger fuel him to do things. But Luke doesn't let his anger go. He internalizes it, which is actually worse than acting on your anger. So that's why Luke,
I agree.
Yeah, is going through the motions right now. Clearly, Danny visiting him did not help. His chi is still off. Yeah, his whole chi is still.
His chi will always be off.
Hey, is this the episode where Black Mariah grabs Big Ben by the balls and says, I thought they called you Big Ben?
Oh, I don't want to say that's the next one, 12.
Is it?
No. It's this one because she gets her money back.
It's this one because that's when Shades and her get into it after that.
Yeah, this is when she gets her money back. She didn't got all this shit back. It might have been, it could have been the last one too. But basically when she got all her money back, and then he was the lawyer again, because he was like, I just followed the money, and then she grabbed them balls.
Like, wow.
To get the Bushmaster history story over with, so they cut to like 2 or 3 years later in Kingston, and Bushmaster is still seeming to be a well-adjusted young teenager. He's happy. He's like selling fruits and stuff. Anansi and Ingrid have been looking out for him. He's fine. Uncle Pete shows the fuck up out of nowhere and shoots this boy twice. And it's like, God damn.
Can't catch a break for shit.
Anansi rushes him to essentially, I guess what you might say is a witch doctor. Women practicing medicine and voodoo. Basically, she understands chemistry and medicine. They take him there and she tells them, I can give him this nightshade, which she does. And the nightshade starts to act with him differently than it would act with anybody else. But the story is that Bushmaster already was considered special because of the whole vaccination story that basically some white people came to Kingston and was experimenting on niggas by telling them it was vaccine, and it killed every kid they shot it with. Shelton's mother didn't allow him to take it because she didn't trust the white folk. His mama was smart in that instant. But Bushmaster did take it along with a bunch of other kids. All the other kids died except him. So at that point, they called him special. Something in him was different. And the Nightshade, as Twan said in a past episode, Nightshade no heal, Nightshade reveal. And it revealed that Bushmaster is very strong.
But then remember when he was with Tilda, and she was, trying to figure out what was, how to
heal
cure him.
Yeah.
She was thinking that, that vaccination also might be, the reason why he's getting that really bad effect that he's getting in it. Because I think they said his organs were pretty much shutting down on him.
Yeah. But she's trying to patch him up, and she's working on trying to get this nightshade shit working for him. So she's still trying to bring him back. And his whole story is about being brought back by strength, his internal strength. Let's see. Mariah is losing her mind in her fucking office. You shouldn't leave her up there by herself. They made sure to take the picture of Bushmaster's father down off the wall, Quincy McGovern, and they put the Biggie poster back up. And make sure to show her in front of the crown, because you have to do that. And she is talking to ghosts. She's talking to Mabel, and she's talking to Uncle Pete. And that's where, of course she knows all this information. That's why her mind is making it up. But Mabel was like, oh, nigga, that wasn't Cornell. That was me. I told him to kill your ass. The ghosts are arguing. Uncle Pete tells Mariah that Tilda is more ambitious than Mariah, which is really what Mariah is thinking. So that's kind of foreshadowing of how their relationship is about to spin off. And she is full Stokes, so.
Yeah, full Stokes.
I actually did have here, Nightshade is poison to Bushmaster's internal organs. I didn't even realize I wrote that down.
Yeah, I remember that when that was like the initial talk. And then, especially when they were bringing up the whole story, how strong he was.
So we talked about this earlier with what happened with Mariah and Shades, but that's actually this part right here. Shade shows back up, and Mariah is flirting. She's trying to put it on Alex, little young light-skinned dude that's kind of like her
little assistant.
Yeah, he's kind of like just a personal assistant.
He's loyal.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Well, she tries to loyally put it on him. And Shades walks in there, and Shades tells him to get out by tapping on his gun 3 times. That's like clicking your heels for a nigga. And Alex disappears.
Because he really wanted to leave anyway.
Absolutely. He didn't want to have sex with her. He just wanted to help her. He just wanted to pick up her
started
coffee.
To be extra when Shades walked in.
He just wanted to make sure that her suits is back at the spot on time and her coffee is fresh. That's all he's there for. Make sure she turns in those documents on time. Her and Shades get into it. because he's still mad about what happened the night before. And this is where it is revealed to Mariah that Shades and Comanche were a thing.
Yes.
And now she realizes why Comanche never liked her and why they were butting heads all the time. Because they had some down low thing going on in prison.
And of course, you know, she
fuels it. She's like, y'all was just gay for the stay, or was it a true Brokeback romance?
She kept going in and kept.
I love that. Are you gay
fucking with them? Pretty much.
That made me laugh. Are you gay for the stay? I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, and he basically choke slams her onto the desk and chokes her up to maybe the last inch of breath and then lets her go.
Yeah, it was a choke where I was like, okay, he's not gonna kill her, and I was like, okay, but maybe he does kill her, and I was like, oh, he didn't kill her.
Mm-hmm. So Shades basically goes to MK and is like, he wants to do a deal so that he can snitch on Mariah to stop her. Somebody needs to stop Black Mariah. She done lost her fucking mind.
Well, damn, duh.
Yeah. After Luke done ran up on every one of the mob families and scared the shit out of them, he comes back to Pops and he's having a conversation with DW and Sugar. Basically, he says Harlem doesn't need a sheriff anymore, is what Sugar says. And he says, you're right, it needs a king, or it was the other way around. Either way, Luke is now entertaining becoming Harlem's king. Because he is tired.
If he's not tired enough.
Well, he's tired of being a damn sheriff. You know, it never ends. 9 to 5, on call, 5 to 9. That is his life.
It's always going to be. That's always going to be his life.
Did Shades do any snitching this episode, or did he snitch the next episode?
I think it was all the next episode.
Okay.
Because this is 11, right?
This is 11. At this point, I think
I want to say he snitched at the end. Because I thought next.
No, he snitches next episode.
No, it was next episode. You're right. It was next
for
episode.
Janice in next episode. Yeah. So at the end of this episode is Bushmaster coming back from the dead.
I mean, when he was getting like that nightshade, his eyes were like bloodshot red, and he was elevating and shit. Next thing you know, nothing.
Because he comes
looks around, no scars, no nothing.
Yeah. Because they've been isolated, so when he comes back, that's when him and Sheldon they find out about what happened at Gwen's.
Yeah, Sheldon kind of breaks down and tells them what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
which was sad.
So wait, is this the part where MK comes to Mother's whatever, and she actually had Ingrid and Bushmaster, all of them hiding in the back, and then she brings them out?
That was beginning of the.
I think that was the next episode. No, that was the last episode.
The last episode.
Yeah. When
they came in, Mariah came in there looking for him, and she had him hiding in the back.
Yeah, I don't want to because I know it's gonna be on our next junk, so I don't want to tell all the details of why I think it's the next one.
Okay, all right. Well, let's go ahead and end this one then. Yeah, so there you go. That's episode 11, season 2, Luke Cage, the creator. And appreciate everybody for listening. If you're listening to us on YouTube, you know what the deal is. Hit that subscribe button. Let us know what you think about this episode, what we missed that you thought was dope. And if you're listening to us on a podcast network, Podomatic, Podcast Addict, RSS Radio, iTunes Podcast, Beyond Pod, Dogcatcher, whatever the hell, Podbean, then appreciate y'all. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend or foe about us. And we will holler at y'all next week with episode 12. Look, we got 2 more episodes to go. Episode 12. Can't front on me. And yeah, we'll holler at y'all next time. Peace.